Today's video, we start off with the newly released in the US, MAC Strobe Dewy Skin Tint. And then we move on to a bunch of products from Dior, including the Dior Lip Glow Oil and that Rosy Glow Blush in the new Pink Lilac shade. And of course, the Diorshow Mono Color eyeshadows today as well. Hello, Princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have, as you saw in the preview, a whole host yet again of brand new products. And it feels like they're not quite as new. I have been so buried under new product. It is more new product than I usually get upcoming, to the holidays. Usually starting around the end of September, sometimes the end of August, all the holiday stuff heats up. This has been more than that. So some of this is new, but not as new as I usually put it out because even I can't keep up with it. So I'm trying to get it all in multiple videos. Forgive me. If you are short on time and really only need to hear about one or two of these, do make use of the very substantial descriptive timestamps that I have down below. There are timestamps beneath this video that you can scroll along, and there are timestamps in the description bar as well. And don't forget that there are so many ways that you can get involved with this community. We have two little side groups now. We have a $4.99 a month membership here on YouTube, and I do weekly lives and we chat back and forth. We have a lot of fun. It's a really kind of small, fun, cozy little group, and we enjoy each other's company once a week in the lives. Then over on Facebook, if free sounds more up your alley, there is a community-based group over on Facebook where everyone chats back and forth about makeup and such, and all that information is in the description bar, along with info on how to give super thanks, always appreciated, how to buy these products using my link, always appreciated. Plus, of course, you can always follow my content over on Instagram, TikTok, and on Threads. So lots of ways right there. Hope to get you more involved in this lovely little community. All right, let's get more in depth, and then we're going to go to a demo. We're not doing a wear test as such today. I'll kind of explain as we go along. We are looking at the MAC Strobe Dewy Skin Tint. As I threaten you with it, I don't know why I'm doing that. Sorry about that. It's a new product. It snuck up. I think I got an email about it from MAC. I'm not sure I would have known it had been released. Now, first of all, let's just clear the way and give MAC their due. The MAC Strobe Cream, the original, which can be used as a base, it can be used as a highlight. That existed long before Charlotte Tilbury took over the cosmetics world with her Hollywood Flawless filter. I give it to MAC. But this, they've updated it and taken the kind of strobe cream heritage and made it into what they're calling an illuminating tinted moisturizer that is hydrating, sheer, and buildable. This can be used however you want it. They're saying tinted moisturizer a la Laura Mercier, Bobbi Brown, etc. I'm wearing it right now as a primer. I'll explain in the demo. We're going to try it on a few different ways. It's $38. It comes in 14 shades, so the shades are very stretchy. MAC is a very inclusive brand. If they're doing 14, you know that each shade hits about 3 or 4. I actually bought medium 2. I am wearing it. You'll see it a little bit better. We have swatches in 2 different lights too. So you'll see that, and you'll see me in the demo try it on. But it's $38, comfortable, soft glow. It's not as glowy as it looks in the swatches, which you'll see in a moment, but it's very glowy and not a lot of coverage. It doesn't promise to be a lot of coverage. It says illuminating tinted moisturizer, so we can't fault it for what it doesn't offer, right? Okay, so we're going to look at that today. And then we have a whole bunch of products to look at from Dior. I did the eyeshadows from Dior separately. I kind of waited till these were available on Sephora to pick them up rather than from the Dior site. What was my logic on that? It's whatever my staff does. And you never know what my staff is thinking at the moment, to be honest with you. So we got the new Pink Lilac Rosy Glow Dior blush. These cute little blushes. This is $40, and this is the new shade. What do they have, like 9 or 10 shades now or more? It is a pretty little thing. Now, in the demo, I take a little sniff of it and mention that it kind of smells like berry a little bit. I stuck my nose into my other little Dior blush singles and I'm not smelling that. But I'm still kind of wondering if I'm inventing it. Does it just look like this pinky lilac and I'm imagining some sort of a berry scent? I don't smell it as much now as I did when I first opened it. But it's been sitting here open. So maybe that kind of dissipates. I don't know. Maybe also if I looked at the ingredients it would help rather than taking a stab at it. I don't know. And they also released this pink lilac shade in a few different lip products. There's the Dior Lip Maximizer Plumping Gloss and the Dior Addict Lip Glow. And I picked up the Dior Lip Glow Oil, which I'm wearing now with the help of a little bit of a liner. And we'll talk about that in the demo. I chose wrong. I was like, I don't need all three products in this new shade. I'm not even really a lilac-y. I am the home of the Cool Tone Revolution Army. Free to join. You just have to say you're a member of the Army down in the comments section. It's just a little kind of fun, loose group. Those of you who are rooting for Cool Tones to finally win out one day. So though I am the home to the Cool Tone Revolution Army, I'm not always someone who prefers these cooler shades. So I was like, I don't need to get all three. And I picked this one. I should have got the lip glow, the Dior Addict Lip Glow. Oh well, I'll throw this in my bag and wear it over other things. But anyway, this is part of the new shade. And then a product that's new from Dior, and I couldn't get to it. These have been sitting here to be reviewed for weeks. I did the Chanel eyeshadow singles, but the poor Diorshow monocolor singles have been sitting here, forgotten, yelling out to me in French, and I guess I just didn't understand. I picked up two. There's like 20 shades. These are, they're redone, and with that 6-month Dior thing that's ticking everybody off. I got Rose Tool. We're going to swatch these, which is a metallic shade, and Nude Dress, which is a satin. You'll recognize the names of these shades. They're famous Dior shades. They come in now glitter, satin, matte, metallic, and they're pretty little shades. They're $35 each. Again, that weird Dior reformulated 6-month is attached to it, which is a shame. And I said very proudly in a video a few weeks ago that, wow, we've all reached 6 months with these products and I haven't had a problem with mine. And immediately, like in a movie, ding, 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 my comment section is lighting up with people saying theirs smells funny or is weird. Or so, I'm a broken record again. But, we've always kind of ignored dates. Things like that on makeup. I'm not sure without any sort of preservatives that we could ignore these. So we'll see. Keep that in mind. The lip products and the blush, though, like the blush is 12 months. Why can't you do that with the eyeshadow, Dior? I feel like it's on purpose. You know what I'm saying? This thing. Okay, I want to look at some swatches of these before we go play with them. So let me just show you what I have first in studio lighting. We're going to do 2 different lights. Take a look at my arm here. In studio lighting, I just did a big old swatch, a little too thick, of the MAC Strobe Dewy Skin Tint in Medium Chew. And then we're going to follow that with the Rosy Glow blush in that new pink lilac, which I swear is berry scented. Then we have our Dior Lip Glow Oil. Blink and you'll miss it. It's very clear. And then the Diorshow Monocolor Rose Tool, followed by Nude Dress. So the Rose Tool is a metallic, and the Nude Dress is more of a satin type of shade. But yeah, I mean, you can't see them that well under studio lighting, so we had to go outside into the warm California sunshine. Check it out here on my arm. We've got that Strobe Dewy Skin Tint. I'm really showing it off a bit too much in kind of a real thick swatch. Then the Rosy Glow Blush in Pink Lilac, the Dior Lip Glow Oil in Pink Lilac, and the Diorshow Monocolor Single Eyeshadows in Rose Tool, and then Nude Dress, a metallic, and then a satin. They are very pretty. And we're going to talk about these one-and-done shadows and why it would be that Dior would do these little $35 single shadows and all that stuff. I wish I could have gotten to these a little earlier. Trust me, they've been here. But wow, it looks like the new releases maybe are slowing down a little bit. Like I'm looking at my calendar and it's not as crazy with new releases coming, but famous last words perhaps. I don't know. All right, we are going to now go to the demo. I want to try all these on and play with them a little bit, especially this illuminating tinted moisturizer, this MAC Strobe. I got some ideas up my sleeve about that. Do take a moment and make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. It's really important and it helps me grow, and I would love to have you on board. Let's go to the demos. I'm a little bit, admittedly, afraid of this MAC Strobe Dewy Skin Tint. MAC Strobe, I've known you for a long time. We go way back. And to me, you're still a primer or a highlighter. So turning it into a tinted moisturizer, we shall see. But I do have a little bit of plans up my sleeve, a little bit of MAC up my sleeve. So a little bit at a time here. Okay, so I could use my hands, but you guys don't like that. We talk about that all the time. I actually had someone on TikTok say that I was giving her an anxiety attack because I touched my face. You guys think I'm making this up. I am not making this up. So I will use a brush, even though this is like a tinted moisturizer. I don't know. You guys, I don't know. I don't ask. I just do my little thing. Okay, so let's see. I think this is going to be, how about the shade here? I mean, it doesn't come in that many shades. How many shades does this come in? 14? So not that many. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. But it's kind of dewy, because I have an idea, as I showed you, but I have no concealer on. We're not really going to do a wear test on this. I just don't really think it needs it. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I'll end up keeping it on all day, so we'll see. But okay, so obviously a tinted moisturizer, so it really does need concealer, but I'll just kind of show you what I'm going to do with it in a moment. What do we think? Is it too dewy? Is it too dew? Nothing but morning skincare sunken in. Morning skincare with this over it. See, now, to me, if I were to put on a moisturizer and a sunscreen and then this, it'd be way too much. So I do have some sunscreen sunken in, but no moisturizer. That would be way too much. And to me, then it can pill. This is not going to pill, I can tell right now. But of course, we'll test it. Yeah, I know there's not a lot of coverage here. All right, I'm going to speed it up and do the other side. And then let me tell you my, my plan here. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and do the other side. Okay, so here we go. Both sides done. Tinted moisturizer. It's not claiming to be a full coverage foundation, so we can't fault it for what it doesn't even claim to be, right? Okay, so we know that. But it is very shiny. I mean, it's not ridiculous, but to me, this is a primer. And here's what I thought we'd do. And I'm going to look silly for it because we're not doing a wear test, but if you saw, let me put it right up here. I did a review recently on the brand new reformulated MAC Studio Fix, and it's a really good full coverage foundation. So since it's MAC and MAC, I'll do one side of the face. I don't care if I look silly. Let's just put a little bit over. Let's see what we think of this as a primer. I mean, a little. Let's do 2 really mini pumps here, just on this side of the face. And let's just see what we think. Because to me, and I am all for light coverage, but to me, this is, it's really not enough. I mean, I guess if you really put on a lot of concealer, but this isn't a concealer video. So let me just see. Now, you're going to say, all right, Rebecca, I might like it, and now I got to buy that MAC. No. Any other medium to full coverage foundation that you happen to have in your collection. And that's kind of why I chose this rather than, say, the Tom Ford Architecture. That's $150 and kind of dries down. You have to work with it quickly. This is a much more kind of run-of-the-mill, fuller coverage foundation. Now, I still need some concealer. Why? Well, you know, I use 2 teeny little pumps, but I just kind of wanted to show you what it does. Now, this is one of my favorite things to do, to mix kind of a matte or a natural finish with a dewy. What do you think? So this side just has the brand new kind of illuminating tinted moisturizer, we will call it, the MAC Strobe Dewy Skin Tint. This side is the same, but I used it as a primer with, happened to use the newly reformulated MAC Studio Fix, but you know, anything of your choice that's a natural or a matte, fuller medium or full coverage foundation. What do you think? It should have given it a little more lift and life. And I'll try to even that out there. What do you think? Okay, let me do my brows and such. And then we're going to try on these blushes and these 2 eyeshadows. So I'm going to be really mismatched today. You know, I'm kind of kicking myself because I just bought the lip glow oil because I thought if I'm buying it, I can throw it in my bag and use it. But I kind of like the maximizer, and then I really, and I kind of like the lip glow, and now I'm wondering why I got this one that looks suspiciously like the other pink one. I don't know. I'm kicking myself, but let's see. Let's see. Yeah, that's just a barely there color. And I still feel that kind of prickly pepperminty with it. I should have just gotten the just get the maximizer, honestly. And that's really pretty, but when I come back, maybe I'll put a little bit of liner. You know, just so you can see what that would look like too. All right, I'm just going to fix myself up, and for you guys, that will just be lickety split. We're not really doing a wear test as such today, so I'm right back after just fixing myself up a little bit. I'll tell you what I didn't change. I did put a teeny bit of concealer, just a little bit, just so you can kind of get a better idea. Because there's no one out there who's really going to say that you're going to use a tinted moisturizer and zero concealer. So I thought, let's just try it a little bit. What I didn't change is we still have the new MAC Strobe Dewy Skin Tint as a primer on this side, with our MAC Studio Fix, the reformulated one, over the top, and then just the Dewy Strobe on this side. And call me crazy, I quite prefer using it as a primer. To me, it's just another dewy primer. Just like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter says you can wear it alone, and yet I feel kind of a greasy mess when I do. Now this one on this side, I do not feel a greasy mess. I do have to say that. It's thinner in nature and does feel much more like a tinted moisturizer in the vein of, say, Laura Mercier. Okay, like those. I just don't really like the look of it alone. I don't think it's enough coverage for me. But of course you do you. I will say this, it's not really, it's kind of breaking up a little bit. It's only been on for like a half hour. It's just not a lot of coverage. So it's kind, this is just going to last a lot better. Although I was very sparing with the concealer because I do want this to be about the complexion product itself. It's just not a lot. You would have to do like a lot of, maybe if you're going to be by the pool or you're going to be on vacation and you don't mind using maybe a concealer first and then just put this over just to give a little shine. But I will say I prefer it as a moisturizer, but you do you, depending upon your skin tone and such. The other thing I did was I added this Sweed Beauty lip pencil, this pretty pink kind of petal lip pencil. I'll put it in the description bar for you guys to check out, around, and that just gave this a little bit more. It makes it lean a bit pink. It's really only going to be this violet shade. And I told you I kind of regret it, but anyway, it just gives it a little bit more of a pretty look. I'm going to be doing some more reviews with Sweed Beauty. They really impressed me, by the way. That's just a side note. Okay, all right, let's take a look at this Dior that we have. Let's start with the new Pink Lilac Rosy Gold Blush. They don't all smell like this, do they? This is definitely like plum smell. It's a really pretty scent. And since we have one shade, I brought over 2 brushes. I brought a Wayne Goss brush that's small and not really a blush brush. Say that 10 times fast. But it's really airy. And then I brought over this Sonia G, which is a little bit more kind of, packed in there. And I thought I'd show you the difference. This really this smells like scratch and sniff books from when I was little, and they would have like a berry scent. All right, so let's go ahead and use this denser, it's not dense, but denser brush on this side, and I will exaggerate this so you can see it's playing off as pink. I guess it's a little bit lilac pink. Okay. And let me just exaggerate it here a little bit, which is easier to do. So this is interesting. It doesn't pack as much of a punch as those kind of Barbie pinks. I know this is lilac, but it's in that family. In those kind of Barbie pinks that we saw this summer in Patrick Ta and House Labs and One Size and such. And there's a few others in there too. This is much more subtle, and it still gives that kind of pink look without being too electric pink, and it's kind of cool and very pretty. All right, just for fun, this is not really a blush brush, but it's so airy and light. I won't even have to, let me just show you, and let's see if it shows up on camera. I won't even have to overdo it. And because this is subtle, look at that. Because this is subtle, you really, looks like it's going to do better with a denser brush. Do you see the difference there? I don't see it on that side, Rebecca. Exactly. So what if I went in really, really tough with this one here, and then I'm still going to get not a lot of coverage, which is nice. So this is not, here it is exaggerated, and here it is not exaggerated. It is a very subtle blush. And those of you that like cool tone blushes and want to be able to, maybe you have a fair complexion and you want to be able to really select and build, I think you'll enjoy that. Okay, let's go ahead and look at our Diorshow monocolor eyeshadow shades. And these kind of famous shades, but redone into these little one-offs. And I think I'll do one eye and one eye. Can you go ahead and get 4 of these and make a compact one? Yeah. But as I said, and I said this about Chanel, when I did the Chanel review too, if you remember, a lot of people are saying, okay, these monocolor shades are $35 each, so that's a $140 quad. Yeah, but it's not a quad, and it's not supposed to be a quad or a quint, you know. You can add $35 more to make it a quint because Dior does make those. So this is a rougher number 1 max, and I am just going to show you here the Rose Tool. This is a metallic shade, and you can use, the most I would do with these, you guys, is 2. Could you go ahead and make a quad? Of course you could. Please do you, and please enjoy. That's what makeup is for. But you don't have to make a quad out of it. That's not the idea that they're trying to get you to buy 4 or 5 to make a quint. They are one-off shades. And as you see, even with a hooded lid, that's really pretty. I don't know if it's perfect with the blush. I guess it kind of goes with the blush a little bit. It's a slightly different tone, but I do think it works. Okay, and then on this eye, let's do the Nude Dress, which is a satin shade. So that Rose Tool, I think I said, was a metallic shade, and this one is a satin shade, and I don't even quite have the appropriate brush. Somebody's lazy, but I can still use it. Somebody needs to get up. Maybe a member of my staff could come over and bring us the appropriate brush that I need. It's okay. It still works. Oh, that's right. I fired my whole staff. They're outside picketing. Okay. So there we go. Very quickly, 2 one-and-done looks. If you hate one-and-done, I do encourage you to try it. It is very liberating. So I think that's actually really pretty as well. Okay, so let me remind you what we have going here. I've got hair that's shedding. Okay. Let me remind you what we've got going here. We did try out 2 of these shades, the monocolor shades from Dior, which are very pretty and I've had for a while. I wish we'd tried them on earlier. But, you know, they're upsetting a lot of people, redone, etc. You know, what are you going to do? And we still got that 6-month time frame on there, but they're awfully pretty. And if you need to get out the door quickly, that's metallic, and even with a hooded lid, it's working and very pretty. So it just depends what you want to put in there. In terms of the Rosy Glow blush, I'm very impressed. I kind of like the scent. It dissipates, but it does. It's kind of that children's book raspberry scent. I know if I looked up the ingredients, maybe I'd actually know, but you know I'm not an ingredient person. And that's really pretty. And if you don't want something too bold, if you were scared off by like those Patrick Ta really bright shades, I think this would be a good one for you. In terms of the lip glow oil, I wish I had gotten the Dior Addict or the Lip Maximizing Plumping. This is just kind of a little nothing. I mean, it's nice for your bag, and I'll end up just putting it over other shades, but it's really a nothing shade. But with a lip liner, it's actually kind of pretty with that Sweed lip liner. All right, let's talk about our MAC Strobe Dewy Skin Tint. If you have beautiful skin, i.e. you're still 5 years old. I used to say 18 years old, but my kids get acne, so. And you want to just wear this. It's very pretty. If you are above the age of 5, you'll need some concealer. And then it's really pretty. But I do prefer it, personally, as a very thin, kind of the way I would use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter as a primer. Then I can use just a little bit of concealer, and I went very easy, if you remember, with this fuller coverage, slightly matte foundation. I like it that way. I think it gives it a little lift, and as a quick reminder here on camera, this is the side that we've done that on. It's also the side that has a much more pronounced blush shade for you to look at. And I think that's actually then really, really pretty. But just on its own, I mean, it's already kind of wearing off on my cheeks, and it's a tinted moisturizer. You know, please comment below if you've chosen to use that just to wear it. It's a new product. I think you're going to be slightly let down if you choose just to wear it on your own. It could work too as a highlighter. That would be really, really pretty. And I don't have any highlighter on, so I'm kind of curious. Let's just put a teeny bit. You can't see what I'm doing here, but I just put a teeny bit. It's hard because it's got color, so it might interfere. I mean, that'll work. It's got kind of a tan color to it, so I don't know if that's perfect. It's a primer, guys. I mean, I will stand corrected quite happily if anyone wants to have a dialogue about it in comments, but I'm not that. I mean, you know, there's a lot of competing products. All hail the strobe cream original MAC invention, which really started this whole thing, so I'm hardly going to call them interlopers, but this product I don't think is necessary. I don't want to offend the gods of MAC. All right, let me know any questions that you guys have. I mean, that's what makes us a community. Do you need any of these swatched? I bet there's some people that are going to want some comparisons. I do those over on Instagram. Ooh, that smells nice. So you can let me know down below what you need, or you can DM me or write it in comments over on Instagram. If you tell me here, I just need to know your name there so I can tag you. Happy to do those for you. I have quite a few waiting in line to be caught up with, so don't worry if you have requested a swatch request. I'm very organized with that, and I will definitely get to you. Any other questions, don't forget to like and share, and of course, subscribe. And I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.